Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Wake Up. We're out here in Chicago, so let's give it up for Chicago. For the new ladies, let's do it again. Let's give it up for Chicago. Today's topic we're going to be speaking about is like a big scenario that happens a lot down south. I don't know if it happens really down here, but we had it on our post, is where, you know, Kevin makes $1,500 a week and Kevin gives $1,300 or $1,400 a week to his wife. I see that as a dumbass fucking move, you know? I don't think you should deposit your check ever into your wife's account. A lot of people say, oh, my wife or my woman manages the money. I don't think you women know how to manage money. Really? I mean, I'm being honest. Like, I don't see men really progressing when their women manage their money. But you know, I feel women are very, very caring, and they will borrow money too, and they'll lend money. They're fine with money, and then that becomes a big problem, you know. And then as a man, you see your woman sitting there like, oh, yeah, it's okay for us to lend money. It's okay, and you sit there and you're like, why didn't we pay this bill? Why didn't we do this? And she's like, oh, I lent our niece money, or I lent this person money, and just like there's too much emotion going on with lending money, borrowing money, and then relationships, you know, turn into people getting fucking crazy, you know. So we'll elaborate a little bit. Why don't we go down the room? Give us your name first, and then, you know, what you think. We'll start over here. You, Tiff.
Hi, my name is Tiffany. I think that no one should give anyone else any money.
No, even if you're married, you shouldn't.
I mean, maybe there's your money, there's my money, and then we have our money.
Okay.
Our money is the money that will go to all the bills and all the things that needs to be taken care of. But as far as my money or your money, yeah, because then it just brings problems. Money always brings issues. That's always like the topic of all the problems.
Yeah, I feel like also like within, you know, cultural relationships, you know, it gets pretty, you know, unjust, and people get really strict on like who they're going to lend money to, what they're going to give money to, and, you know, relationships fade because of that. But we'll go into here. Seem, what do you think? Give us your name and stuff.
My name is Wasim, but something I can't even wrap my head around. Like,
yeah.
Unless it's my wife, I guess that's a different story.
Okay, even if it is your wife, though.
If it's my wife, like if she's not working, at the end of the day, I'm gonna make sure she's right. But like you said, $1,500 he deposits, she gets 13. Nah, hell no. One, like she was saying, 2 different accounts. Like you get your own bread, and then you could put into like a mutual account. Because if my wife is not working, like yeah, there's always gonna be bread for access. But at the end of the day, it's something you're not gonna be comfortable.
What if she says to you, "I'm managing the money"? Like you're stupid. You went out to the strip club last week. You spent $1,500. You obviously can't manage our fucking money. You know, you spent money crazy.
One, it's not our money. Two, it's my money.
But your wife,
it's my wife.
Would you ladies say if it's got a wife, then it's our money?
No.
No?
Thank you. You said no.
I wouldn't.
I appreciate
No.
it. Cool.
Because like my money is not our money, so it's like it's the mentality of the woman. Like you have to be a breadwinner too. You have to be a go-getter too. On the topic you were speaking on with like men, I think that is the generation coming up. This is a sassy men generation, like these 20-year-olds, the 25-year-olds. They themselves don't give themselves enough knowledge they're not financial, you know, like they can't. So of course they're like, here you do it. So that's on them.
Yeah.
They don't teach themselves how to manage.
I know down south, because I know a lot of guys in Louisiana, like Long, St. Louis, like really south, you know, in those areas. And that's what they do. They say, okay, my old lady. That's what they call them. They don't call them baby mama or anything like that. It says my old lady. And she gets my check. And then she does what she needs to do with the money. And then that's just like normal down south. Like she's at home. She handles the bills. She does the stuff. And then I'll even get like, yo, I need more money. Like, why? What happened to your paycheck by Tuesday? My old lady spent it on groceries. She did not spend that much on groceries. She's not spending that much on groceries. You know, but why don't you give us we'll go back down the list. Give us your name and, you know, how you feel about that. Would you take a man's full check?
Evil smart.
Of course, no. But okay, I'm Alexis, and when it comes down to giving money, I think it's more like how we've been talking. No, his money is his money, her money is her money, and then whatever he wants to give to her, then that's whatever it is. You know what I mean? But it's more like an equal, like whatever. If she makes less and he makes more, then he should just do a little more.
Okay. All right. Do we have any? What's your name? And then what's your opinion?
My name is Serena, and what is the actual question?
Like, would you give? Is it? It's been a long, it's been a long day for you, Hunter. I'm saying would you let your husband or your spouse deposit, his paycheck into your account and then you manage the money? Like, are you married, single? What are you?
I am single.
Okay. Were you married ever or had a man?
No, I've had one. Yeah.
Okay. And like when you're in a serious relationship, and he's busy working all the time, you're managing the money. Like down south, that's normal. Down here, we're up north. That's not normal. Like, is that something you would do okay with, or what do you feel?
Realistically, you're talking about if you're in a real relationship with somebody, it depends on how long you've been with that person, what type of relationship you got that person. And of course, yeah, if your man's depositing money and you're the one that knows how to manage it and you guys are one, yeah. Hell yeah.
So you think it's okay?
Where's the question? That's what I'm trying to ask.
Like just managing the full funds. You're okay doing that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
If I'm the one who's doing it or not.
All right. What about you? Your name and...
My name's Mo. I don't know. I know people that do that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel weird because it starts fights in relationships.
Okay.
He needs $600 of the money that he made, and then the woman questions why. Why do you need this money?
Right, that depends
But-
if both of them are depositing in it or if he's only the one depositing in it.
I mean,
that's what I'm asking. Where's the question?
both can deposit it, but at the end of the day, she's managing the money. There's always someone that manages the money in the relationship. Once it does get really, really serious, correct?
I mean, we could each get our own, paychecks. And if you want to give me, here's $500, do what you want with it, put it away, spend it on yourself, that's cool too. But I don't know. I've been in relationships where that has happened. I made this, I'm going to give you this, just because, but I'm not going to deposit it in your bank account. So I don't know. I don't really feel like that's necessary in a relationship.
Yeah. Well, to give you guys a spin thing on what I think, to help some of you guys out. I feel like women, when you guys make your money, you want to keep all your money. You want to get your hair done, your nails done. You got to take care of yourself. You're not really you don't give a fuck about the money. I feel like men manage money a little better.
It depends.
When we make more money, when we make more money, when we make more money. Yeah, let me help you out. I'm going to help you listen. When we make more money, it's to provide for the family. We take care of the family. When you guys make more money, it's, okay, I need designer this. I want to get my hair done. I want to get my nails done. I'm more for myself. So I think, rationally speaking, you're used to hoe-ass bitches. You're used to them?
I said, it sounds like shallow-ass bitches.
Oh, okay.
That don't know how to manage their money. It sounds like you're talking about...
No, I really think it's a lot of upkeep being a woman.
It is. It absolutely.
I mean, that's what I think.
Plenty
So
of bitches that upkeep with themselves.
I agree with
they
you.
They don't need a man for that.
For sure. But when it comes to maybe doing your nails or whatever, I just think a woman cannot manage a fund, their money. Yeah, they could spend it on whatever, but for growth in a relationship, that's why I said I couldn't wrap my head around it. It should be the man managing money, where the money goes, investments, whatever you're putting where. I can't see a woman doing that, and I've yet to ever meet a woman who's capable of doing that where there's growth.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I agree to him, but she looks like she got something to say over there.
I don't know. I feel like some men try to keep up with the Joneses, especially this day and age with social media. They'll have $20 in their pocket, but they're over here fronting on Instagram, Facebook. Like this car, at least I gotta, or it's about to get repo, but you don't know that because I'm over here trying to front. It goes equally, men and women. Me, I can budget.
Right.
Okay.
I know other women. I know other women. I have to ask other people for money, and the same thing goes for men. So it depends who you're asking.
Anybody could really budget, but
Not anybody.
Growth, really.
I've seen people at my age still stuck in the same spot.
I mean, your nails look done. You look like you did your hair.
I could budget.
I'm just saying.
This is almost a month old.
A man would be willing not to get a haircut. A man would be willing to sacrifice,
I'll pay somebody $100-something plus tip to get my eyelashes done. So sometimes as a woman, you got to learn how to do things for yourself so you can budget, keep money in your pocket.
Okay.
I'm not trying to keep up with anybody. I don't flash for social media or nothing like that. And name brand stuff, yeah, some women love that name brand shit. Not me. I could get the same thing. I'll go to Old Navy. You don't know because it looks nice. I go to Target. You don't know. For what?
Are you dating currently? No. Okay. But you said you've been in one of those relationships before where you manage the money?
No, he would get paid, and this is what I'm going to give you. You can do whatever you want with it. You can.
You weren't working then at the time?
No, I've been working since I was 16.
Okay.
I haven't.
But what do you do, like, because a lot of the women don't work down south. I'm saying if you're giving, like, a message down south, like Louisiana, Texas, a lot of those women are stay-at-home moms. Okay.
That would be great.
Yeah.
If I can meet somebody, that would be great. I would never turn that down. Absolutely not. I'm not one of those women that, I don't need no man, this, but I would like one. I would like one. And if they
but I'm saying, like, when it comes to manage the money, you'd be okay to manage the money, right?
If that was my job, if I don't have no job, that's my duty as a woman is to manage the money.
You got one job, don't fuck it up.
Okay, absolutely then.
Home,
but if I'm working, it's different.
Manage the money, like,
right.
Okay. So go ahead, your name and, what you feel about it.
My name is Alyssa, and I feel like I've touched on it already. But, like, I feel like going back on what I said, like, if you're saying that that's what men do nowadays, that they just hand over their money, that's on them. That's on them. Either one, they don't have enough information. They're not, they don't have enough knowledge and how to do it on their own. Or they have enough trust in their woman to do so. Not in all cases does the man know more about investing or stocks than the woman does. It could be vice versa. And if he's busy going to work and she...
But what he's trying to say is women will make emotional decisions based off of, like, loans. You never really see a lot of men lending money. You see more women lending money. Oh, my sister, she needed $300 for her baby, so I gave it to her. Or my cousin, she needed this. Women will lend money faster because they're more emotional and they empathize,
Like that's going off of that topic of women move emotionally and men move logically. But, like, just because we move emotionally doesn't mean we don't have logic, meaning we're putting both into it. We're logically thinking, okay, if we can budget this and we can do this, okay, give it to whoever needs it, we're going to get it back. But,
When you think emotionally, though, get involved emotionally with your decisions. So, like, if it's completely different, the outcome, if you were emotionless with it. Makes sense?
I get what you're saying. Yes. I get
like,
what you're saying.
I feel bad. I didn't give it to her and she really needed it. Versus a guy like, no. I don't
like, that's her
women
problem.
are more in touch with, like, the empathetic side, whereas a man is just like...
Women really don't talk shit. Like, if you lent, like, let's just say you guys were cousins, right? And you lent her money. Like, it'd be okay until you're, like, trying to get that money back, Right. That's what it really comes... that's always the fucking real problems come, So we'll change up a little bit where, of lending money and, is it okay to do it or not? I think it's the biggest fucking mistake you can make is lending any money. If you actually give the money to somebody, it's better to just be gone with it because people get fucking crazy. Yeah. I've had people I know I've lent money to and, they're close relatives or even like brothers, sisters, etc. And I remember being like, yo, when am I going to get my money back? And it's like chasing a clown, It's never coming back. Yeah.
No bigger pet peeve than watching someone like live their life lavishly. It's like, don't you owe me money? They're out to eat. Like, where's my $100 though? Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. So if we go a little bit, what's the worst money experience you've had, Tiff?
I've experienced that earlier on in life where emotionally I wanted to help family members and stuff like that. And I
always tell people family will dig you into the grave.
They're the first ones. Honestly, they're like the first ones. And we're supposed to, I guess we're supposed to love them and we're supposed to help them, so they say, but they're like the first ones to kind of screw us over. So throughout that time, after that, I'm not big on lending money and I don't want to lend money. And money is the biggest issue to a lot of problems. That's the first thing. So if you lend money, you honestly have to go into it saying to yourself that you're giving this gift to someone because there's a possibility it's not coming back.
So no crazy experience with lending money?
Yeah, a crazy experience. We went on a trip and she was supposed to pay my friend because my friend couldn't go. So she tells her, okay, I'll pay her. And she made like a down payment. So the down payment comes, we go on this trip, we come back. She doesn't pay my friend. So now she's coming at me because, of course, she took her place and I'm the one that made the whole thing. I, as a good friend, I squashed it. I ended up kind of like paying for it, but like in payments.
Yeah.
And that from right there, I was just like, fuck the world. I'm not paying nobody nothing. Everybody can make their own money.
What about Wasim? What about you? Worst money experience?
Worst money experience.
When you lent money out?
I feel like as a guy, when you lend money.
When a guy you lend money, it's fucking hell on earth, you know? Because you see that dude, you like think to yourself, like, okay, I lent him $200. I really like think to myself, like, he's gonna pay me back, you know? And then
It's gonna come.
No.
It's like,
and then you don't want to hunt him down because you don't want to be like, you know, I'm thirsty for my own money, but like, you know, you said a week.
It's the principle.
Yeah, I had a guy I helped out. Like, actually, he needed an apartment. He was in my fraternity at the time, and I was like, "Yo, I'll help you out. I'll pay the money." I paid it on my credit card. I remember, and I was like, "Okay, so at the end of the month, you're gonna pay me." And he's like, "Yeah, I got you. No big deal. No big deal." And I remember, like, end of the month came, and I was like, "Hey, I need that money so I can pay the credit card back." You know, and he was like, "You got it."
No way.
What the fuck you mean I got it? I lent it to you, so I came to help you out, and, you know, it's always like you're chasing them down, and then you start, like, stalking their social media. I found myself, like, stalking him, like, he's out to eat, and I'm like, bro, like, you can make fit. You start, like, bothering yourself, like, you can make $50 payments. You start, you know, at the time, you start thinking to yourself, like, bro, you could send $20 a week, you know, something, right? So I went from $1,500 to like $10 to $20 a week, and I'm like, I'm not a fucking loan company. I don't know how this started happening, but you know. And then you see them, and they buy anything. You're still like shattered. You're like, yo, do you think you could?
So why you eating?
Yeah.
I own that. Whatever you buy, I own that.
Okay. What about you, Lexi? Any bad money experiences?
No.
Nothing. You've never lent a
I don't
dime?
lend money, bro.
Okay.
It's problems. There's
Respect.
problems. I got time for that now.
I agree. Over here in the jean jacket, no money experiences. We'll move on. What about you?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys
I
are
don't
all
have
smart
necessarily
over
like
there.
a money experience, but more so like a vice versa, going with the male thing. Like I was dating this guy at one point, and we just graduated high school. And when I'm talking like I was so delulu, it wasn't true Lulu. Like the man's birthday is in November, right? I was saving since it was hot outside for his birthday. Okay.
Okay.
15th birthday. Okay, cool, great. I just completely balled out. Dinner, shoes, clothes, the PS5, like we just the whole thing. And then like my birthday comes around. It comes April, and yeah, some flowers and a card. Yeah, but that was it. It was over with after that. It's not really a money experience, but it's just like, okay, yeah, I see what we're doing here.
So you've never lent money to a family member or anything too crazy?
Oh, so I wouldn't even use the word lend. After, no, it's
You
here.
give.
Just have it.
Yeah.
Have it, because that's so much stress on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And exactly, like, I've had the issue where it was just $100, and I'm like, she's like, hey, I need to pay my phone bill. No problem. Like, she's a close friend. Okay, yeah, of course I got you. You know, if I got you, I would hope that you got me one day. $100, no, she's getting tattooed. She's going out to eat. No, after that, at this point, if you ask for money, I'm going to have to make sure I'm in a place to just give it to you. I don't even want to expect it back.
Okay.
Because then I'm going to start stalking you, and everything you do, I'm going to be like, that's mine. That's mine. That's my money. You use my money for that? Like, yeah.
What about you over there?
Yes, I have lent money to my brother.
Okay. All right.
I'm still waiting for my money
Family
back.
things.
Yes, I'm still waiting for my money back. It's been 2 years. Like, he has done all the scams, so many everything. And I'm like, hey, can I get my money back? No.
What was the story? What was behind the lending?
He needed a car.
He needed a car?
$2,500 for a car. Yeah. Never got my money back. 2 years ago.
And chasing him down and everything?
I stopped.
You got a
I
girlfriend?
feel he does.
That's your
but-
money right there.
I feel like you said, chasing the clown. I'm not about to keep asking you and chasing you for my money. You know you owe me. So
Yeah. I feel like money's a big, big subject. Like people like, you know, I know you two ladies kind of quiet about it a little bit, but money really like hurts people to a point, you know? And especially when you lend it, like you start looking at people a little different, you know? And like you said, your brother, I've lent money to my brother before, and he like, I know when he's hitting me up, Christmas time comes, all of a sudden, like, yo, you think you could help me out real quick? Like, fucking with what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, with what? Like, what happened? Especially during Christmas, the holidays, people all of a sudden start asking, you know? And that's where we come on, like, givers and takers and, you know, people that, you know, kind of do what they do, you know? So if you let somebody take, then they think it's okay.
They shenan once, they go shenan again.
Yeah, if you give a mouse a cookie, it comes back for a glass of milk. That's how I felt. But
Do you think it's wrong to look at it as like you paid a ticket to get that person out your life? Because I've had that where.
but you can't get rid of a family member. You're still going to see him at a family party.
But like this was a close friend of mine. Like I gave him like it was like in the 5 digits. But
Okay.
I looked at it, I was like, I paid the ticket to get him out of my life.
No, because it still hurts no matter what.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
It hurts for sure, but it's just like, what am I going to do?
Yeah, no, you can't go out and like beat his ass, threaten him to a certain point.
Yeah.
You know, it's always gets to a point of it's impossible to get that money back. And you sit there and you pride yourself to a higher standard, but you end up just hating that person.
Exactly.
You know, like you're not friends with that person anymore. But
It's also a lesson learned, so you don't do it again.
So it's not like
I mean, well, some people, because like you said, if you keep giving, they're gonna keep taking.
Yeah.
And then at some point, you have to just cut it off. Friend, family.
Have you ever got violent with it?
Not necessarily violent, but there was a lot of words exchanged. It could have got there.
Yeah.
And then it was just like you said. It was like it just broke the relationship. Now we just don't see each other.
So I had 2 cousins at a point. You know, one of them told me, "Hey, I lent money to him." And he said he needed to pay his mortgage. Now I need to pay my mortgage. And I'm thinking, like, this guy's going to come, you know, like, they're both related. They're both telling me the story. Like, I'm like the third party in it. Like, this guy fucked me over, but we're both, you know, we're all cousins, you know, at the end of the day. And he's like, hey, you know, you cannot sit there and take his side. And I'm like, I'm not taking anybody's side. You know, I can't. But if you helped him out, he should pay you back. You know, and actually, the Arabic culture is actually really, really frowned upon, you know, to lend money like that, you know. I don't know how it is in your guys' culture, but it does almost become, like, culturally, like, bad, you know? Because people will just keep talking shit about you, you know? What I mean, you're what? What are you?
I'm Puerto Rican.
Okay. Is ethnicity-wise, like, when you... like, would you be like, oh, she's Puerto Rican, I'll lend her money, or... No?
I don't care. No, I don't think that's what it is.
Okay.
I think it's more
But Arabs do that. They do that. They think like higher sometimes.
100%.
Regardless, whatever, you know, race you are, you should be ashamed if you're borrowing money and you can't pay it back.
Like, I feel like you look at an individual, like, all right, they're whatever it may be, they're like, okay, they're good for it. So, like, I'm going to let them hold this. And, like, I've had them circumstances where it's like, all right, well, this dude's family owns, like, a yacht company. It's like, I could let him hold this $1,500 really quick. I don't know like that, but I know.
No, but I get what you're saying, kind of like what she was saying, the fake flexing that goes on. You see it going on, guys are buying this and that, and then you'd be like, oh, they got it. They just, like, their account doesn't work or something's messed up, so you've lent, you know. Right?
So I was told, he's like, yeah, my bank's on the lock right now. I was like, all right, cool. Here's this bread, and like, yeah. Wow.
But I've only experienced man to man, like men to men. You know what I'm saying? Woman to woman is like completely like, you know, I feel like women would say yes to women faster. You know, men would take a logical approach to the situation. You're saying no, Lexi?
No money. I don't give a shit.
Somebody else. Bye-bye. Like, no, it's not gonna happen.
So if Red needed some money, you're not letting Red any money. Red's getting no money?
Nobody getting none.
Okay. What about you, ladies? Does it matter who's borrowing from you, or?
It depends.
Are you guys sisters, or? No? Okay. I mean, no? All right.
Absolutely not. And it depends. And I know a lot of people like that. Like, it don't matter if it's a man or a woman. If they're strong on saying no, they're going to say no. So I don't, yeah. And it depends on the situation, how large the cash is, who you know. It just depends.
Like, I don't want to be a dick and bring this up because I've helped out one lady before. She needed to get bonded out, right? She was a friend of mine. I bonded her out, and then, like, I asked for the money. I asked her, like, hey, I swear, like, I got to collect calls, like 7 or 8 of them, right? Like, you got to collect call from, and I'm like, fuck, you know, like, and then, like, I accept, yeah, you know, hey, please, you know what I'm saying? You get that, can you get me out? I had a ticket, I got locked up, and I'm like, fuck it, I'll get her out. You know what I'm saying? I go there, I paid $400. She's like, I promise you I'm going to pay you right back. I'm like, okay. Like, it's extremely hard as a man. Like,
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Have you ever been locked up?
No.
What was the relevance of that?
Yeah, what was the relevance of that?
The same relevance of you asking and understanding.
No, I mean, this is my show, so I kind of ask what I need to ask. You know, you're on my show, realistically. But you're on my show, so it's okay. It's okay to be cute. You could be cute as long as you want over there. It's okay.
I just asked you.
No, it's fine. I'm just saying, if you
I'm trying to see relevance in the.
No, I'm saying is like when people are in really rough situations. That's the relevance of the question. When you're in a really hard time, and somebody calls you and they really, really need help. You know, as women.
So I asked you if you were in that position.
No, I've never needed to borrow any money or put any of that situation. I always felt like I could provide for myself, and if I ever did get in trouble, I'd swipe my credit card and get the fuck out. You know. So that's how I feel when we talk about money. I always feel like I'm my own backup. I don't need anybody else.
Very few people.
Yeah, like a lot of people don't think like that. They got their own backup. I'm my own backup. I think to myself, you know what? I got a plan. So a lot of people don't really assume
A
that.
lot of people say that, but when you're in a situation, when you're in that other foot,
Yeah.
it's hard to say exactly what you're saying. So
Okay. No, I understand that. What about you? How do you feel about that? When people are stuck in a bad situation? Yeah, or your sister. Yeah, sister. Sister over here. Sister, yeah.
Well, you asked a question about like ethnicity. I don't really think that matters because on both my sides, they're prone to lending people money. And I've learned
Both yours. What are your sides?
I'm Puerto Rican and black.
Okay.
So my black side lends out, my Puerto Rican side lends out.
Okay.
And coming from,
Well, what's the black side and what's the Puerto Rican side? Like,
what do you mean?
can you elaborate a little bit on that? You said my Puerto Rican side comes out, my black
my
side.
mom's side,
Okay.
my dad's side is black.
Okay. So are you saying like Puerto Ricans are like cheap? They don't lend money. Black people do.
My Puerto
Like I'm
Rican
just
side-
trying to get
Puerto
it.
Rican side
you
does
said
lend
in
out.
your culture,
They do
don't
lend
lend
out.
money out. What is
Okay. Can you hold on a second? We're talking to her. We're talking to her real quick. Go ahead. Can you keep it quiet for a sec?
Where he came, my grandma came from.
Okay.
Taking tobacco crops to make them like coming over here from Puerto Rico.
Okay.
And there has been times where family members they do need help, and I think that the way I grew up, if I'm giving you money, lending out money, I have that in my head. I might not get it back, so I have to be comfortable with what I'm giving you. But also, I need to have I'm not in some type of relationship with you, establish some type of boundaries. And usually 9 out of 10, when someone asks me, because I've given out money before, but I've also received it back, maybe in not that timely manner that they said, but they go, this is what's happening. And I try to be considerate, just in case if I'm ever in that situation, that type of predicament. Because there might be a day, I haven't so far, but there might be a day where I might need that money help. Let me borrow 100, let me borrow 200. I'm good for it. But they can be like, well, remember that time I needed help and you told me no. So I like to consider that.
Yeah. No, I fully understand what you're saying. So if the situation comes to hand, you try to like have people to have your back, But you ever do the rule of 1,000 or no?
I don't know.
So like when I became pretty wealthy, right? Because obviously you're in my office, you're in my space, I do pretty well for myself, I asked each family member like for $1,000. I like pretended that I was in trouble and I was like, hey, can you guys lend me $1,000? And I got, fuck you, no, I can't help you, I'm sorry, that. And I was extremely wealthy because whoever said yeah, I was going to give 10,000 to. And that's how I was like, I just had elevated myself to a point where it's unreachable for some people to even assume, So I was like, you know what? I'm going to help my family members, but let's see who the fuck would help me. Yeah. And you know what I got? One person.
That's crazy.
Barely one, barely one. And they had to send like 200 and they it was one of those things. But I sent them the 10, But people really don't like helping other people when you really, especially right now. We're kind of in a financial crisis as it is. Nobody's really talking about it, but it's like a silent killer, I think, But we'll go here if you want to give us your explanation. No, Alyssa, go ahead.
Okay, on what? On which part?
On like you're in a sticky situation. Do you prepare for it, or is it more just, you have people you think that would actually have your back?
No, also, I kind of have a little bit of both. I do prepare for it only because, like, I moved out at 16 and I had a daughter at 19, So
Okay, so you've been in some fucked up situations, right?
And I have been proven to myself where I do have to have my own back, countless amounts of situations. And then on the topic of, like, lending out,
Yeah.
for me, we have to fuck being on, like, an understanding, are you going to pay me back, whatever. If I'm even lending, we have to be on that type of, like...
Yeah, and not to like talk, like interrupt you, I think, to give you women the full gratitude is like being a woman and raising a kid and then lending even like 100 or 200. That shit burns you because you could always be like, fuck, I'd rather give that to my kid. Like I would rather provide for my kid instead. I'm single, I'm a single mother. A lot of women now are going through that. They don't have the male support. That shit is dead now. I feel like a lot of women are like, they're fine to break up and they go through the rat race by themselves, and they're okay. You know what? I'm doing it myself. And then when you do lend some money, you're in a bad situation, those women are not helping you out, That's why I mean, we're on the show for a while. I always say women and women cannot not even be friends, Like women relationships are based off of the girl that you could have drinks with, the girl, whatever. But when it really push comes to shoves, they don't have, I believe women don't have each other's backs to a point. Yeah, I've seen sisters fight over money where, especially even on the show, they just go crazy over it, you know? But I think it comes more in your biological like nature. Hey, I'm going to fight for my kids. And you're taking food off of my plate. A lot of women think like that.
It should hold more weight, especially in a situation like if you're my best friend or you're my close friend, and you know the situation I'm in. I'm not saying I'm in a struggling situation. Just I'm young. I have a daughter. I go to school. I work. Like I do this. You know what I mean? And I'm even lending you money. That should hold so much weight to you that I'm even willing to give this to you rather than someone. So for instance, if I have $100 in my bank account, this person got $10,000. You ask for $100 and I give you the 100. That should hold more weight and more value. You should like appreciate that more than the person that gave you $10,000 because sure, that's nothing to them. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't even look at it like that. They're like, oh, it's money. I got the money. I'm cool. I'm good, and they go about their day.
No, I agree. What about you?
What's the question?
You've been in a sticky situation. Would you rely on one of your girlfriends or?
I'll never be in a sticky situation. I'm that person that has my own back.
Okay.
However, I'm not lending out money to anyone.
Okay.
After your brother.
Yeah.
After your brother, you've learned?
You said no more.
Absolutely.
No, guys. I appreciate you guys being on today's episode. Tune in next week for another episode, guys. All right.